Hey gamers, it's Sherlock, and today I'm going to be playing some Dwarf Fortress and giving you guys kind of an overview of the game. I'm a noob at it. I'm not very good, so I'm not going to say I'm the best qualified person to show you exactly how Dwarf Fortress is played, but I'm going to go first and explain it. Dwarf Fortress is a management god game, and when you ask somebody what Dwarf Fortress is, it was always frustrating to me because they were like, I can't really explain it. Well, I can explain it, okay? Dwarf Fortress is like SimCity meets Minecraft meets Dwarf Fortress. There really is nothing like it out there. It's actually absolutely an amazing game, but it's a city management game, but you're a dwarf. And you're digging out stone, and you're digging into the tunnels, and you're mining for precious ores, and you're crafting materials, and you're drinking beer, and it's just, oh, it's so fantastic, especially the dwarves. Now, you guys you're gonna see this, you're like, oh, there's no graphics. Oh, don't worry, there's no graphics, I understand that, but the game is still phenomenal. Graphics aren't everything, but ladies, it ain't everything. But let's go ahead and create a new world first. I'm just gonna show you the world creation. I'm not actually going to use it. But first, we'll see. You'll notice that you can set up things like the world size, the history, the number of civilizations, maximum number of sites, number of beasts, so on, so on. And I would hit Y, but I've already created a world that I've already got set up just a little bit, and I'm starting to get into it. So I want to just tell you about this real quick. And what it happens is once you hit Y to go, it starts to create a world with history and lore and wars and death and people that have been, you know, a part of the history that you might find as you explore throughout the world. Incredible stories and depth to the game that has started even before you even gotten into the game. So it's absolutely amazing. And the stories are randomly generated. I don't know how I made up this algorithm to come up with stories, but it's fantastic. It's just wow, you know? So, you know, you would hit enter, and it would process all this. Now, I got to say, for the graphics looking the way they look, it takes up a lot of processing power because let me explain two things real quick to you. The game runs off pure processing power for the most part. There's a lot of things going on. Tons and tons and tons of things going on. And when there's a ton of things going on, this is ran through your processor. When there's a lot of graphics and textures, that's ran through your graphics card. So when you're seeing things that are on the game and there's just a lot of shit going on, you have to understand that's a lot of processing power. And this game, while it may not look the prettiest game ever, there's a lot of little things going, a lot of calculations going on, and it's really amazing. And I don't recommend playing this game on anything less than a quad core, if you can believe that. And you're going to be really phenomenon when you see just the graphics and the way they look. You just be like, wow, I needed a quad core for that. Are you serious? So let's go ahead and start playing. I already have my little settlement set up, and I'll see if I can't get a map for it so I can show you guys the map. And if I have a map for it, I'm going to put it on the screen now, and you guys will be able to see how like cool it looks, and like this is my world, and it's fucking huge. But let's go ahead and start up a game. We're going to do Dwarf Fortress. So there's adventure mode and there's legends mode. So if you ever wondered where Notch got his ideas, that was it. So anyways, as you guys can see, we have at the top left, we have local, regional, and then world. Okay, the world is to the right. That is the entire world. Just look how big it is. Now you guys might see that little X. That's my cursor scrolling along. And then if you guys look in the middle, you'll see the regional area. And that is my cursor scrolling along once again. And then to the left, you'll see like a little highlighted area. And that is the region that I would be selecting had I chose to select a region. Now, we're going to be looking for a few things, especially as a noob settlement. I'm going to be looking up basically somewhat mountainous, warm temperature. So let's go ahead and press F to do a search location. You have to be really aware of everything that's on there. And we want a low savagery. We want a low evil. Elevation, as long as it's not on a mountain, I don't really care. So I'll keep that NA, like on the top of a mountain. Temperature, I'd like to keep it warm, but we'll just put NA for now. Rain, drainage, fluxstone. Yes, we want fluxstone. Aquafire, no, we don't want aquafire. Okay, so what's fluxstone? Fluxstone is it's basically ore and precious metals that you can use to craft into stuff. Aquafire is basically like land that has a lot of water in it, and if you make a mistake and you bust through the wrong wall, the whole water will just come seeping through and drown out your fortress. It's quite a pain in the ass, and I've ran into it myself. So let's do a search real quick, and while it searches, I'll find an area. I kind of found an area, and it has some flux stone, some deep metal, if I ever get that deep, that is. A little soil, which is going to be useful for it's gonna be useful for basically farming and stuff like that. So that's always kind of a plus. And you know, maybe this isn't the best settlement, but I'm kind of figuring it out. So we have trees, we got woodland, so that's good. We have a lot of trees. Vegetation's moderate, surroundings are wilderness. Temperature's warm. Little soil. Flux stone is going to be a really good one. So one of the cool things is, you guys know what biomes are from Minecraft, as many of you guys might understand. Well, biomes exist in here, except there's way more biomes. There's biomes located in regions alone. So if I press, like, let's see, F1, it's showing me on the region, it shows me on the local side, it shows me the biome. Whoops. It shows me the biome there, and that is the Diamond Hills biome. And if I press F2, that shows a different biome, the Factional Crest. So we have two different biomes in this, located in this little area, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and we will select this as our starting area. So let's hit E to embark. Now, there are a few things that you want to know before you even start playing the game. Go to Google, type in Lazy Newb Pack. This game is 100% free, and thankfully, because it's 100% free, people are able to openly create stuff for it with no issues. So, you know, things like texture packs and stuff are going to be very important. So, go out, get the Dwarf Fortress Lazy Newb Pack. Download it. It comes with Dwarf Fortress. It comes with some texture packs. I'm using the Monday texture pack, and it comes with a lot of different utilities that are going to be important for managing all your dwarfs, because later on you're going to have a lot of dwarves going on. So let's go ahead and we'll choose this basic one. Let's see. We're going to need an anvil and cave lobster. Well, let's go ahead and set up. First, you'll notice that we have our dwarves on the top left corner, and we can just kind of, and this has already been set up for us, but you can do this on your own if you want to, but I highly recommend, if it's your first game, you use one of the recommended settings that is provided through the Lazy Newb Pack Dwarf Fortress. So we have a peasant who is a proficient miner. We have another peasant that is a proficient miner. We have a proficient mason who's going to be able to craft these stone into stuff that we can sell. Selling is going to be really important. Trading is going to be really important, because we're going to be able to get stuff from other races that come and visit us. Yes, humans, elves, they come and visit you, and they have a whole lot of lore to them that you might have to look up through the wiki. That's another thing. As you play this game, you're going to want to have the Dwarf Fortress wiki up at all times. Even the most professional Dwarf Fortress players need to have that wiki up, because there's just so much stuff to the game. So much. This game is so deep and incredible. So we have a competent carpenter, building designator, that's going to be good, wood crafter, bone carver, gem cutter. Okay, that's nice. So we have him. We have one that's not doing anything. That's okay. He'll get a job later on. He may even create his own. We have a novice woodcutter. That's going to be important. So we have two peasants that are going to be just basically movers. All they do is they just move stuff. You know, you obviously have a place. You need a place to put all this, and you'll designate places to put all this stuff. The movers just do that. They move it for you. They have nothing better to do. So let's go ahead and press P to check our problems. No iron anvils available. No cave lobsters available. Okay, well, the iron anvil, we might be able to trade with other races that come and visit us. So if the elves or the humans come and visit us, especially the humans more likely, we may be able to trade with them. So let's not worry too much about that. But cave lobsters, now we do want some cave lobsters. So let's press in, or no, tab, and then in for new, and we're gonna type in lobster. And here we go. We have lobster, and now you'll see at the top left corner, cave lobsters 2. I'm gonna press plus sign. And I'm going to give myself a whole bunch of cave lobsters, because they provide a food and they provide shells that we can use to craft into stuff. And you'll notice we have pigtail fiber rope, oaken bucket. That's going to be important for moving water around. And just all this different gear. Look at all this gear, guys. all this incredible gear. Of course, copper picks are extremely important. We got 2 of those. And on the right of it, you'll see that it costs 44 points. That's how many points. We have 70 points left. I might as well go ahead and spend some more points on whatever I feel like it. So let's see. I'm going to just go through here and take a look. All right, I think this will be fine. 49 points left. That's okay. I don't really care. I kind of just want to keep this as simple as I can. But I'll tell you over here on the right side, we have, we have a dog, 1 dog, female, and we have another dog here. And I'm not sure what, I think that's just, I'm not sure what that is next to him, but we have another dog there. 1 hunting dog that's going to be good for our hunter, who's going to be going out and getting meat for our dwarves. And 1 cat. Now, if you guys don't know, there is a internet meme for Dwarf Fortress. It's kind of only with Dwarf Fortress people. And you don't want to have more than 2 cats, especially early on. Cats become a real problem. Now, I know a new patch has come out, or a new update for Dwarf Fortress come out. I assume they're probably still the same problem. But if any cat owner that knows, cats, they love to multiply, and they become an issue, man. They become an issue. You don't want more than 2 cats. If you have 2 cats, you're going to have cats all over your fortress. Cats are incredible because they get rid of rats and stuff, which carry diseases that can, make your dwarfs sick. But if you have more than 2 cats or one cat, you're looking at having a ton of cats that are going to be screwing each other, creating new baby cats, and all kinds of issues. And it comes to the point where people start killing cats, and they start butchering the cats and using their bones and stuff like that to create items. And we set up all kinds of like crazy traps to kill the cats because there's just so many cats in the game. And the problem is some people actually take the cat as their personal pet, and they fall in love with these cats. And some of the dwarves get upset when you kill their cat. So they go a little psychotic because you just killed their cat. How would you like it if you lived in a fortress full of people, you had 1 animal that was your pet cat, and someone butchered it and then made something out of its bones? It might upset some people, yes. Okay, so let's go ahead and embark. All right, so as always, it kind of opens up with a little story. But, of course, the last end is strike the earth, and that's all you really need to know. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first thing you'll notice, I'm going to press spacebar to pause it, and I'm going to go ahead and explain the way the game is set up. Wow, this is probably not the best area to start. There's no mountains or anything. Wow. Oh, wait, here we go. Well, I'll make use of that. That might be of use. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just kind of looking throughout the area, looking through, noticing that we have trees all over the place, and scrolling around, and I can actually zoom out with my mouse, or not. And I gotta go find my dwarves again. Where are my dwarves at? Yeah, here they are. Okay, so you'll notice there we have dwarves, and I'm pressing tab to select through these. It starts you off like this. There's not really a reason to have the regional view right off the bat, so you can always just press tab to get rid of that, and then tab again to have more screen. As you'll notice, if you look really zoomed in, you'll see that we have basically all kinds of little icons there, and those are dwarves and chickens, it looks like, and animals, and trees, and all kinds of important stuff. Now, the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to dig into the earth. I should have chose kind of a mountainous area, but I could go all the way over there, and I think I'm going to do that. Let's do that. So, yeah, let's go over there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to press D, and if you look off to the right, you'll see all kinds of stuff. We have announcements, building, reports, view civilizations, designations, set orders, and the list goes on. Military obviously is going to be more important. Stockpiles are also going to be very important. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some designations. So I'm pressing D, lowercase d. Yes, that actually does matter. I'm going to do some mining. So let's go ahead and do some mining. So I'm going to press D again. And I'm going to say, let's go into here. Let's start our fortress into here. I could just go ahead and dig down and maybe make a staircase, but I like to have like at least an entrance be in the side of a mountain. And the reason is so that I can set up traps and stuff. It's a little more difficult, I think, to set up traps when you have a staircase going straight down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press D and then D again to mine, press enter, and you'll see that little blinking icon, and I'm going to tell them okay, I want this area here. I want that to be mined, and that's what they're going to do when I press space. They're going to come over there and mine it. But I like to go ahead and get set up and go ahead and build an entire section set for different rooms and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and get that set first. Okay, so I've set up a nice little situation here with a lot of different rooms that I can be using for different things. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to press space, and we're going to go ahead and let our dwarves get to work. Whoops, exit out of that, press space bar. Now the dwarves are going to get to work. They'll slowly get over here, and there you go. You see the two little dwarves? They're now these little lakes here. They're kind of scary because you never know what might jump out. Maybe a fish will jump out and bite one of them. It can be a scary thing for dwarves to go in there. And as you can see, there they are. They're going out and they're clearing out the land, and they're just working away. And while they're doing that, I'm also going to have some dwarves set up and chop down some logs so we can get our basic tools. So I'm going to press D to designation again, and I'm going to go chop down trees, which is T. And the same way that I did it for mining out the area, I'm going to do the same thing for collecting trees. So let's go ahead and you can press Shift and arrow key to travel a little bit more. And I'm going to press that, and you'll see all those trees that just got highlighted. That's all the trees in that little area, and those are going to get chopped down. But before we do that, let me explain the way Dwarf Fortress works. This is kind of important. I should have explained this right off the bat. What you're doing is you're looking at an above view of the fortress, okay? Those little arrows that are all around my mountain there are the angle of the cliff. So the cliff obviously goes higher up. Now, if I press Shift and the less than and greater than sign, I can go up and down on the Z-axis of the world. Now, to explain this the best way in Minecraft terms, think of it as you're looking above the world, and you can see these trees here. And if I go one up, you see how take a look at. Let's see. I'm going to put my X right next to it. Take a look at that tree right there. Okay. Now I'm going to go up one, and now see you can only see the tip of the tree. I'm going to go back down. See, here it is. I'm going up. Now there's only the tip of the tree. Now if I go a little bit higher, there's no tree. You can't see. It's too far for your eyesight. But notice that the cliff goes higher and higher up to this point here. And just look how big that is. So, this is the ground level where we're digging at. This is 1 block up, 2 blocks up, 3 blocks up, 4 blocks up. And just to give you an idea, if you look off to the right, look how deep this world gets. Watch to the right, the very far right. You see see how I'm zooming in and zooming out? I'm at layer 144. I'm going to continue going down. I'm now at layer 100, layer, 55, 51. And see, you just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. These worlds are incredibly deep. We're looking, let's go ahead and get back to the top here. And we are starting out on layer 149, okay? Layer 140, we can go 149 deep, and there's 149 steep that we can go, at least, on top of a giant mountain if we were to explore. So let's go ahead and let our dwarves get to work here as I continue talking. Let me split up, escape that, and there they go. And while they're doing that, here comes my little lumber guy, and there's my looks like chickens and stuff. I'm going to show you guys a really important tool here, the K. Okay, if you look off to the right there, you'll see something that says, let's see, K. Look around. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll press K, and as I move my cursor on each tile, it tells you exactly what is on that tile to the right. We have birch tree, oak tree, dense fescue grass. Okay. Chert boulder, and my reading skills are about that of a 5th grader, guys, so I apologize. And then, right now we're putting over a dwarf. This is Tun Ledonon. He's the mason, and we can actually look more information to him, so we can press enter, and it will tell you a little bit about him. You can go into his thoughts, so we'll press enter to see what he's been thinking. And here's some of the things that he's been thinking. Now, red is typically bad. He is quick to tire and weak and as susceptible to diseases. See, this is interesting stuff. each character has so much depth to it, and you can read about each of your characters, and as they go through battles, this will actually get longer, and more information will be put down about the dwarf. It's just really amazing stuff. We can check his relationships and see who he has a relationship to. These are obviously his gods, Zolban and Tabul, and these are things that you can look up on the Dwarf Fortress wiki. So if you want to know more about this, you would go to the Dwarf Fortress wiki and look it up more. He's a long-term acquaintance with certain dwarfs here, and he has a grudge against the expedition leader. He doesn't like the expedition leader. They don't get along. Maybe that'll cause problems. Who knows? This is all stuff that you're going to have to learn to use or learn to deal with. You can also give him a nickname and customize his profession name, which is actually going to be really helpful later on. And as they're digging through, we can, you can press K, and we can look at all the different rocks here. We have Lagonites, and this is just basic stuff. Chert. This is stuff that you see on the cavern floors. And it's really cool. So we're gonna let them kind of dig out, and this is just kind of a small section of the game. I know I'm not really getting too deep into the game, so I'm gonna let this finish up, and then we're gonna do just some of the very basics of the game real quick. All right, so our dwarves have cleared out one room so far, and since they're gonna do that, there's a few things you need to know about dwarves. Dwarves are short. They love to be in the earth. Some of them have an intolerance for daylight. They are merry, they love to drink, and in fact, drinking is so important to their culture that they have to be drunk while working. Basically, they operate and fuel off of alcohol. So we need to designate and get a brewer. So let's press B, and we're going to need a brewery. So let's set that up. Okay, so I had to look into it before I started recording, but you're going to press B as in building. And then you're going to go to, let's see, where was it again? Let's see, scroll, let's see, where is it? We want cage, traps, no, trade, no, workshops, there we go. We want a workshop, and we want a still. So look at all these different workshops we have. Screw press, soap maker workshop, dye shop, ashery, fishery, kitchen. This is all stuff that you can look up on the Dwarf Fortress wiki on what it means, what does it do for you, stuff like that. And we're gonna need a still. So we're gonna click the still, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna place it somewhere in here. We're gonna place it right there. And let's see, we can choose which items to make it out of. Let's see here. We will make the still out of chert. Why not? It doesn't really affect what it's made out of. Just chert, if it was a more precious metal, you might use it for something else, but it's not. So let's go ahead and exit out of that. And what we'll do is exit out of that. And now you'll see a blinking there. That means it's ready to be used. It's ready. There goes our builder there. He's going to build the still for us, and he's hopping too. And then we have to designate somebody to start building or to start brewing alcohol for our dwarves. Also, we're going to need a place to stock all this stuff. So let's do that. Let's go to stockpiles by pressing P. And let's see, we have food. Now you'll notice all these different stockpiles. Bar and block, refuse, that's basically like where you put dying and dead stuff. Furnished goods, ammo, animals. We're going to choose, I do believe it's food. So we're going to need food. And whoops, that was an accident. We're going to set up. Now you look off to the left, you'll see my little arrow. We're going to set up a spot to put all this food here. And this is also going to be a place where we stock our food for our actual food and not just our alcohol when we have some farmland. And let's see if this area is done here. Okay, so we set up that area, and I'm still kind of getting used to the controls here. I haven't played in a while. Let's go to K, and let's see. You'll see here, food stockpile number 1, and this is where the food is going to be set. There's also some rocks on there. You can smooth this out. Dwarves don't typically care about living in dirt and rocks. It is sort of what they do, so that's not really that big a deal, but yeah. So let's go ahead and get that set up and see how that brewery is being set up now. There goes our dwarves, and we can always take a look at what that dwarf is doing and what he looks like. Okay, so he's the carpenter, and so he's just kind of setting the area up there for us. And what they're doing now is they're moving all the food that when you start out in the game, like let's go over to the starting position here. When you go to the starting position, they give you supplies that you asked for. And what they're doing now is, now that I have a food stockpile, they're moving all the food into the stockpile room. So we'll hit escape, and you'll just see them moving all that food. And we're also going to need some farmland, which we'll get soon enough. Now, one of the most important tools, without a doubt, is definitely, in my opinion, is going to be the K. Pressing K will allow you to view what's on the tile. I know I already talked about this. I have to tell you, it's really important. If you ever see an icon, you're like, hey, what the fuck is that? Well, you'll see that. Oh, toad remains. Oh, okay, well, now we know. Or if you see like something that's blinking and you just like, whoa, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. You can just press K and be like, oh, okay, nothing. He's okay. So K is important. Use K. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and collect some berries. Berries can be very useful. They can be used for food, obviously, and I think also that the seeds can be planted or created into alcohol. Yes, so they can be created into alcohol, so that's kind of important too. So let's we designated that, and now we're gonna let some of our dwarves go. Hopefully, do some berry grabbing. And at the top right corner, you'll notice that we have idlers. These are dwarves that are just not doing anything. Idle dwarves. One of the nice things about this game is you're going to want to later on have an area for idle dwarves. You're going to have a place like a tavern or a dining hall where the dwarves can, you know, sing and drink ale and talk about battles with each other and create friendships. And so we're going to have to do that. I might do that a little bit later as we go deeper into our cave here and create a deeper mine. But until then, they're just going to be hanging out near the caravan section. And until we get a dining hall, that's where they're going to hang out. So we have to build a dining hall eventually here because dwarves aren't safe outside. It's a dangerous world. There's goblins. There's baddies out there that want to kill us. Not good. Not good at all. And they're still working on clearing out this land, as we only have 2 dwarves that are doing that right now. But that's okay. So we'll let that finish up. So we also need to go ahead and queue up some drinks. So I'm going to press Q to queue up. And we're going to go over our brewer, our still over here. And we're going to hit A to add a new task. And we're going to tell them we want to brew drinks. You'll notice that there's, like I said, there's just so much to this game. So many things that can be crafted, created. And you'll notice that we can extract from plants. We can make mead, or we can brew drinks. Drinks is what we want to do right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna brew up some drinks, and we'll repeat that. So we'll have him continuously doing that for a little while until he gets sick of it. But we need our dwarves drunk. We need them happy, and what better way to do that than to make sure that we are keeping them filled with alcohol. And as you can see, we're starting to get out there. Now, I know that there's been some changes in farming since Dwarf Fortress 2010. I know that they've made some changes. You need mud, and you need to set up a farmland, and you need to do that. So let me see what I have to learn about farming real quick, because it used to be that in order to farm, you had to wet down the soil with water first. I'm not sure if that's exactly how it works still, but if it is, we need to get some buckets, create some channels, and make this work. All right, so this is kind of the basics of the game. Right now, we have a nice little area dug out. We're currently working on building a farm area in that top right corner. And let's go ahead and put some beds down as well, because they're going to need a place to sleep. So to build a bed, we need to have something we need a builder to build a bed. One of the important things here is we're going to need a place where they can build it. So for example, I'm going to scroll through here on the top right here. I went to B as in build, and we're going to go to our workshops. And you'll notice all kinds of different workshops here, but the one that we're kind of interested in right now is we're going to work on either mason's workshop or a carpenter's workshop. So let's go ahead and click carpenter C, and we're going to tell the carpenter that we want him here. We'll put him in this room here. Just looking over the left corner, and yeah, that'll be made out of chert. Why not? And we'll just go ahead and unpause. And now we have a carpenter set being built. And once this is done, And I'm just going to kind of fast forward a little bit and tell you guys real quick what I'm going to be planning on doing. But once I have built the carpenter, I will go and I will hit Q, and then I will select the building, and you can't see it there, but it'll be much like with the still where I'll add a new task, you know, brew a drink, and then put that on repeat. And that way, you know, it'll be the same way, except this time I'm going to have a guy taking some of the chert, taking some of the wood that we've gathered, and I'll have him build beds. And then I'll need to set the beds down. Setting the beds down, and we'll need a stockpile for them as well. So let's build a stockpile. Let's see, stockpiles is P. We need it for furniture, so we'll press U, excuse me. And we'll scroll through where we're going to put the stockpile. I say we put the stockpile right here. It doesn't need to be big. We don't need it a lot. You know, we might end up using it a little bit later on when we have more furniture being produced. We have more dwarves. And another thing is that there's seasons in the game. So, you know, you'll have seasons where you can only grow certain plants. Some plants can only be grown in underground. For example, the plant I do plan on building will be the plum. It's some kind of plumpet. It's like a mushroom, basically, that is great for underground. It's great for a newbie starting settlement of food and alcohol that you can make from it. So that's going to be useful there. And let's see, is anybody working on the... Okay, the carpenter's workshop has been built, so we're going to hit add, and we have all this stuff that we can build. I mean, look at all this stuff. We have beds, we have doors, we have caskets. Yes, caskets. And just tons of stuff. So let's go ahead and queue up some beds, and we'll add... Yeah, we'll repeat that. Nah, we don't want to repeat that. Let's just go ahead and build. We'll build about 5 beds and see how that works. And we'll hit escape to be done. And now our dwarves are going to go in there, and we have a stockpile for our furniture, which the dwarves are taking from where they originally started, and they're taking the stockpile from over there, and they're putting it into our fortress now. As you can see over there, we have a carpenter now working diligently at the carpenter's workshop to make beds, and he is continuing to do that as they load up furniture. And we're going to go back to the buildings. Bed. See, now we have a bed, and we can place these beds where we want. So I'm going to put it back here. We'll put a bed there. And we have, yeah, we only have 1 bed right now. That's okay. And we'll just press escape, and they're going to continue going on. Now, what you guys have just seen today is the very fundamentals of the game. It gets much deeper than that, much more complicated. I have also set up, and I haven't shown you guys this, I set up a zone over here. So this is where my dwarves will get their water source from. So should they need a bucket of water, I can tell them, go get a bucket of water, and they will go to the zone over here. This will be the first place they go for their water source. And you can set up all kinds of zones. You can set up, like, let's see here. Zones, let's see. Yeah, well, we can actually enter here. You'll see all the zones. You can have fishing. You can have a garbage dump, which is also kind of a refuse. You can have a pen and pasture, pit and pond, sand and clay, meeting area, which might be good. Well, I mean, you know, why don't we meet up? Why don't we do another meeting area? We'll do another meeting area. We'll put it right here, and we'll just say that this is the temporary meeting area until we have our dining room ready. So if we press I over here, yes, and hopefully some of the creatures and stuff will be moving over to the meeting area. As you can see, they are slowly moving on off to here. And what is that? What are these bees? Well, it's good. It's a badger boar. Okay, these would be good for our hunter to go out and attack. However, we don't have, our hunter ran out of ammo. Because I kind of let him go do his own thing. So hopefully those badgers don't bother us too much. But we'll see. They're just zooming around. What are they going to do? Looks like they're going into the water here. Doesn't look like they're going to bother us too much. That's good. Maybe they keep their distance. And what's this over here? I've always kind of wondered what that is. That's a weird symbol. A colony of ants. Ooh, that's scary. So we don't want to deal with ants. And we still have a lot of, you'll see like a lot of logs there. We haven't made a lumber pile yet, so we kind of need to do that. But all right, guys, that's it for today. I just wanted to show you the bare basics of the game. I'm going to continue playing. If you're looking for a thought-provoking game, something that is very engaging and requires a lot of memory, you know, not a lot of memory, but a lot of movement around, and you know, you enjoy games like Sim City, Dwarf Fortress is the best at this, and it's incredible. You would never find a game where you get to play little dwarves and their mentality in this fantasy world. It's absolutely amazing. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you want more. I might consider making more, but like I said, I'm kind of a noob at this game, and I just wanted to give you guys the basic aspect. I think one of the hardest things to overcome today is something that you guys probably have overcome, and that is the view. Learning that this is just one block, and now we press shift and the less than sign, and we go one higher, one higher, one higher, and now we can't see because we're too high up. Isn't that just so neat? And remember, the little trees, we go up, and now you can't see them. All right, guys, this is Sherlock. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys around.